Hi everybody, Patti Cesarini here alongside Mike Evoy, who was recently appointed the 8th director of the Catholic League after the tragic passing of longtime director and legend Vic Michaels. And Mike, Vic left behind quite a legacy. How do you plan to now continue the legacy that he left?
It's always keeping in mind what was most important to Vic, and that was the student athletes and providing them the best experience possible. Having worked with them for 17 years, side by side, I understand what was important to him, and really now it's become important to me, if it wasn't already. So.
And this year marks big milestone year for the Catholic League, 100 years. What does this number, this milestone mean to not only the Catholic League, but the members and the student athletes?
For the members, the current members, they're very excited. The student athletes, I think they understand, but I'm not really sure. But the great thing about it is we're going to be able to provide them with better knowledge of the rich history of the Catholic High School League. We have a number of events planned, some for the student athletes and then others for alums. Whether it's current schools or closed schools. But next year is going to be a huge celebration throughout the entire year for all the stakeholders, all those who have played in the Catholic High School League or attended the Catholic High School League.
Can you give us any insight or any information on what some of those events might be?
Well, we're going to kick off the year with a mass because we really feel it's important. Being a Catholic High School League, we want to kick it off with a mass. And then in the fall, the big event is going to be the release of the 100 greatest male and 100 greatest female athletes. The big winter events, we're going to have somewhat of a throwback night during basketball season. That's going to engage the current student athletes. And then there's rumor that there's going to be a documentary made, and we're hoping for the premiere to be in the winter. And then this spring, we're targeting June of 2027, a huge banquet where we're going to bring in a panel, have an MC, and we're really targeting on having exhibits from all the current and closed schools in the league history.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be a great celebration.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited. That's just very exciting news. And in other exciting news, Detroit Country Day just joined the Catholic League. What can you tell us about them now joining this league?
It was almost a no-brainer in the sense that they're going to be a natural fit for us. It was something that has been thought about, discussed a little bit for the last 2 decades, but it finally came this past December. Vic, myself, we talked about it. Vic reached out and actually talked to Dan McLean, and then shortly after Vic's funeral, I reached out to Dan and said this was still an interest of the Catholic High School League, and we worked very hard and diligently for about the last 5 to 6 weeks, and it became official on Tuesday, February 10th. We're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, of course. And what else can you tell us about the future of this league? Where do you see the future of this league really going?
First and foremost, we want to provide the best experience for the student athletes, and we don't want to compromise that for the sake of growth or for anything else. The student athlete's the most important part of this work that we do. But we see there is potential for some potential growth with some other non-publics. Also expanding into a few other sports. That's just to give you a little tease into it. But what we want to do is provide the student athletes the greatest experience. But when we do that, we want to make sure it's really well done. We don't want to do it just for the sake of doing something.
And what is it about the Catholic League that sets up these student athletes for success outside of high school as they go on into college and in their professional careers?
Well, first and foremost, I really believe it's academics. Oftentimes when former student athletes come back and they may be playing at a high level in college, and we will talk to them and say, what's been the toughest adjustment? And they'll say, well, this or that. And initially we think it's academics. And they'll say, no, school's easy. It's the whole routine of weight room at 5:30 every day and this, that. And then also the bond that you have competing in the Catholic High School League. I'm a product of the league, and then when I went away to school, I sort of gravitated towards other league member schools. Sure. Right? And so there's just that special bond amongst the student athletes.
And how special is it to then come back and see friends, other alumni? Like, how many alumni are of the Catholic League are now coaches in this league? All that kind of stuff.
Yes, and it's great to see the people that I competed against or with now coaching, or they have some type of role, or I can't believe I'm this old, their kids or my kids are actually competing in the Catholic High School League. And it just scratches those memories of what it was like when we were actually competing in a league, and then what our kids are going through. So,
and it highlights sustained excellence of the Catholic League.
yes, I mean, it's been built, well, now over 99 years, but on some true legends, real pioneers in educational athletics. Walt Balzalevich, for one, from the 70s, Tom Rashid, and then, of course, Vic. So.
Well, Mike, thank you very much for sitting down with me today. I really appreciate it.